Hey guys, so a few small updates on some stuff, and later I'll talk about more on the wooden watch. But first, let's celebrate that we've hit 1,000 subscribers. That's like 4 times the number of people in my primary school. It's the primary school in Australia, not the one in China. For the one in China, we'll still have a long way to go. But anyways, thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I really wouldn't have the motivation to keep doing this without you guys. As you can see from the last video, I've already started making Wooden Watch Mark III, at least with the templates and some of the blanks for the new material. But to help me survive all the sanding I need to do with this, I have made the Wooden Amplifier Mark IV. And that was actually supposed to be what this video was about, or at least was supposed to be posted at this time. However, after spending 3 days building it and another 100+ hours editing the footage, my hard drive storing all my footage just corrupted. Murphy is so freaking mean. I know, I probably should have listened to Mr. Thomas and actually backed up my data in 3 different places, but when you're dealing with 100-something gigs, it's really hard to find 3 places with enough space for those. So this incident happened on Friday, and I spent all Friday nights and Saturday and Sunday trying to recover my data, but I was only able to do like 10%. So I brought it into a computer store just yesterday, and hopefully they will have some good news for me. The main reason for the corruption might actually be because of the quality of the hard drive, because just like any other electronic stuff, I got it from China. However, the Samsung hard drive that I bought last year for storing all my video files ever since has been working fine, and it's only recently that I've started using the new hard drive for storing my videos. Which means the footage of me making these templates have been lost as well. Great, just great. However, personally, I think the reason for the corruption was actually because my laptop for editing the footage was a little bit too slow and I pushed it a bit too hard. So basically, I used that laptop to edit the footage for like an entire afternoon and evening, and then I let it stay on during night to render all the files that I've edited, including color correcting and stuff. And the next day I did more editing during the morning, and then let it render for the afternoon. And then when I came back from my workshop, the preview window of Premiere Pro wasn't displaying anything, and I thought that was just a glitch because I left it on too long. And so I restarted the computer, but when I opened Premiere Pro again, it couldn't find a hard drive. So I thought that might be some kind of glitch with Premiere Pro, and I don't know, tried restarting it a couple of times. And then later I actually found out when I tried to open the hard drive through File Explorer, that didn't work at all. It was like incorrect parameter. So when I searched that up, I knew, yep, it just meant that my hard drive was corrupted. Well, when I first opened the laptop after I got back from my workshop, I actually found that the display driver kept saying not responding and then recovering, and it was like flickering on and off. And that might have been the cause for the corruption, because I think that kind of turns on and off Premiere Pro. I'm not sure why. But anyways, the damage is done, so if we are lucky, then you might be able to see Amplifier Mark IV being made, which I actually put a lot of effort into it. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Yeah, both fingers crossed. The slow laptop that I'm currently using for video editing brings up the next topic. A new homemade PC. I actually invested a lot of my money from making paddles to get another PC. The new PC will at least let me be free from all those external hard drives and how easily they get broken. And also it should be much faster than the one I am using right now, which can't preview properly. And I'm usually editing in the blind, like just 5 seconds per frame. So yeah, in case you're curious, when I'm editing video, it's like I'm editing video of snapshots of every 5 seconds, like a time lapse. Well, this means good news for me, at least I don't need to have video editing like a nightmare. But that might be very bad news for some impatient audience waiting for Wooden Watch Mark III, because that will actually delay the Wooden Watch project by quite a bit. I'll say at least a week. So to not make the video too pointless for you guys, I'm going to do a small update on Wooden Watch Mark II. Now it's actually called Wooden Watch Mark II because this is Wooden Watch Mark I. Now I think the battery on this is pretty much dead, but otherwise it actually works and it's quite nice. But as I was building it, I figured I could do a much better design, a design that is much cleaner and more slick and overall just a lot better. So I ditched this after spending 7 days on it and then restarted it with Mark II, which I was actually able to build the entire thing in about 3 days because of the experience from Mark I. However, the sanding to finish this off took another 3 days, so that really sucked. Here's a close-up of the link that connects to the butterfly claps. I didn't actually film this or put this in the plans because I kind of just made this along the way. And this one was quite a troublemaker because I don't have the correct drill bit for such a small hole. So what I did instead was actually run a 1/16 inch bit through, which is the smallest bit that I have. And then I epoxied the pin in, kind of made a mold of the pin that I can also be able to take the pin out when necessary. Now the bottom of the strap has seen some abuse, and that's the reason why you should use the hardest wood you can find. And in my case, I use spotted gum. I really should have used spotted gum for the crystal holder as well, as this is probably the bit that gets most dinged up. But so far it's been holding up just fine, except for maybe one scratch mark there. Now the back plate has seen some abuse from my sweat as well, because when I sweat on my wrist, like doing sport, the sweat soaks into the wood and kind of raises the grain. And this has also let some of the putty that filled the holes come off. This is actually the second best watch. The best one I gave away to a good friend of mine. But yeah, I thought sweat might be a problem for the back plate, but it seems to be just holding up just fine. Wood movement so far hasn't been too much of a problem because the crystal hasn't come off or come loose at any time of the season. Now one thing that I wish I did better was actually making these marks for telling time a lot more accurate, because some are a little bit off, but it's not enough to like really throw anything off really. It's still accurate enough to tell time on a daily basis. Now it would be fine if you have a laser cutter or a CNC at home, but I don't. So I'm gonna come up with something else to do this. I generally don't wear my wooden watch when I'm working in a workshop, except for some exceptions. Like maybe I just forgot to take it off or something. But the reason behind this is actually to protect this from dust getting into the insides and messing everything up. And also, since this is a woodworking shop, everything here can do serious harm to wood. So I don't want my wooden watch to suddenly get destroyed by the table saw or just chewed up by the router. Now in case you're wondering, this is not waterproof. No watch is waterproof. And it is not water resistant as well. Well, maybe slightly, like a little bit. It will handle splatter, like everyday splatter, just fine, but you can't wash it in a tap or take it with you in a bath. Now the reason behind this isn't because just water can get in, it's because wood expands when it meets moisture. And that expansion can actually either cause the crystal to just compress too much and then just crack, or something other stuff happen that you just don't want a wooden watch to happen. I actually really like this watch. I really like the contrasting colors, the design, it's just really nice. But there are a few things that I think I can improve on this, and that's what I'm going to do in Wooden Watch Mark III. Well, I might have spoiled a big part of it, but believe me, before even building it, I know that's not the biggest part. Well, a few sentences actually sum up the main message I'm trying to get across in this video. I won't be able to post another video for another week or so. If we are lucky that they are actually able to recover my hard drive, then you will be seeing a video much sooner than a week. But if not, then you'll probably just be tuning in to midway of Wooden Watch Mark III. I know it sucks. So Merry Christmas and Happy Woodworking. I think that's how Matt does it, yeah?